Hey, good morning. It's Monday, the 22nd of June, and it's another birthday in my family. And for you folks that are concerned that I'm all stressed out and not having any fun, that's your perception. Okay? That's your perception. I'm doing really, really well. Okay? This is important to me, what's going on. So the idea that my posts are completely mixed now with my social commentary and music, this is what I want to do is to be engaged. So today is my brother-in-law Floyd Norman's birthday. Floyd Norman, the living legend of Disney, the first black man to be hired as an animator by Walt Disney Studios. He's 85 today. He's married to my sister. They have one of those winter-summer marriages that's worked really well for them. They've been married for I don't know how long now, 20-something years. I love Floyd, and he is an inspiration. He is an inspiring black man because he pursued his dream completely not thinking about being black, just wanting to draw and get that job at Disney, and he got it. That is inspiring, to just go for your dreams because you have a dream. We all have that right, which is really where I'm coming from with my point of view regarding this whole fight for human rights and for all people to be seen as equal. We all have a right to the good life, the one that historically here in America especially has been reserved for whites only. That was happening when I was a child, so that's why the evil and selfish nature of racist behavior and agendas and laws is wrong. It really has. I ain't gonna be quiet. Not gonna be quiet. Yesterday, folks, I talked a little bit about Alphonso Johnson, and some folks brought up David Sanchez. I hadn't thought about him in a while, but yeah, you're right about David Sanchez. Definitely Prague. I've seen Peter Gabriel 4 times. I think he was with him one of those times that I saw Peter Gabriel. David Sanchez, good example of a black man who does what you could call prog. This is really good. Just as I thought. Real good album. Oh, I like this one a lot. He does exactly what it is that I like about prog. It's that tunefulness, that melodiousness. David Sanchez in tone. I don't have all of his albums. I have these, and I have this one, The Bridge. This is what I have by him. I like them all. Something I played last night, haven't played in a while, and this is my old beat-up copy. I've never replaced it. Roger Powell, Cosmic Furnace. He was in Utopia. Got to meet Roger Powell in Chicago. Great guy. He had to stop. He had to quit the band because of health reasons, unfortunately. This is it's not ahead of its time, but it's like he is one of the first to. I mean, a lot of people were doing these sort of records like Tonto's Expanding Headband and stuff, where it's all basically synthesizers. But I want to give Roger Powell credit for making a very extremely listenable and really good album. It's not noonly. It's very, very good musically, and he's got chops. I mean, he can play. He can solo. That's what I like about Roger Powell. He's got chops. I played this last night. I've had it for a while. I seldom play it. Nurse with Wound is the kind of space music. I have a couple other albums by them. And I'll talk about Nurse with Wound, and I'll couple it with Death in June and Current 93 because those bands tend to get lumped together. There was a time when I was exploring that music, trying to understand what was going on with this stuff. The darkness, the creepiness, the dark side of sexuality that was being explored in some of the records. And I've come to terms with what I needed to learn about myself with it. I don't like Death in June. To me, that's really crap. A friend of mine actually worked with Death in June for a while. The guy from Backworld. So I kind of know about their story, but their music is shit. Current 93, it's a head trip. I kind of understand David Tibet's head trip, so sometimes I'm in the mood to go on a journey with him because he sets up these very interesting worlds of sound and music, but I'm not into what his head is into. Archaic religion and, the deep battle between good and evil. I'm not into that. This was a trip to listen to. It's not enjoyable. They purposely do things to prick you, which I find a good thing, a learning thing. So this is called space music, and there's a lot of ambience here on this, and a lot of open. Literally, it sounds like you're moving through space. Then all of a sudden, jarring things happen, but not in a goofy horror film kind of way. More in like I'm traveling in space and I encounter something, I don't know what it is. I'm out here in space, which I know nothing about, and in real time, real life, something happens. That's what this sounds like. This was very cool to listen to. I like the fact that it did not allow me to just. It's not background music. It demanded my attention, and I had to think about what is this? Real good. Nurse with Wound. Intriguing. Some of their stuff is disturbing, so I don't have a need for that stuff now. Every now and then I'll pull those records kind of in a nostalgic way. But I've learned what I needed to learn about that darkness. Forever My Dog, Soft Machine. I played Soft Machine 7. I hate the way this album was recorded. It's really badly engineered for my taste. I think I said that recently, but I say it again. But the compositions and the band, I love them. Love that cover too. Interesting that, well, not interesting, but typical America, they chose the inner sleeve for the American cover. When this is, to me, just a much better cover. But that's America for you. They're more concerned about marketing it to you. We want to make sure you buy it. We don't care whether or not you get the art. We just want your money. Which reminds me, I spoke too soon in that last video about looking for investors on records because I got people getting a hold of me. It's very flattering, folks, but I spoke to one person in a personal message and let him know, I spoke too soon because I've done this before where I took on the producing of the records myself, and it's a lot of work. The manufacture of the record is done by someone else, but once I got it, the distributing of it, shrink, all those things, the advertising, it's a lot of work. I'm not really interested in doing that. I would like to have another vinyl release. I would like someone to do it for me. I'm waiting to hear. I hope I hear something from this one company. They said they were still going through some tracks I sent them. Hope to hear something this week. But I would love it if someone would just accept me and say, a label. Someone that has an operating label saying, we want to put your stuff out, I'm not that concerned about making money. I mean, it's like if you do it right with me, we can all profit share, I've done it. Every record I've made, I've sold it to the point that I made a little money. So I don't want loans, I don't want anyone to loan me any money. And that's how a couple folks approached me. Thank you. Wow, kind of blew my mind. It was more than a couple people. I said, wow, people do want to hear this music. They want. So that's my point, is anybody that works at a record company that's watching, besides the one I'm waiting to hear from, that's the deal. If your company will get behind me, I've got a product that you can sell. So get a hold of me. Yeah, get a hold of me. Yesterday I did some promo work for, I'm about to perform again. I do appreciate my position in the community. When I peep my head out and do something, then there's a line at the door asking for me, which is complimentary. But also, I'm not looking to be busy all the time, and money's not an incentive. I've already turned down something where they were throwing money at me. But it's like what you're asking me to do, I think, is unsafe. Still, it's not time to be trying to do any kind of touring with anybody. I'm flattered that you are asking me and offering me this money. It's not about money. It's not. So I was doing this promo stuff yesterday for this upcoming online concert, which I think you'll be able to see. I'll let you know. Essential Fest, to raise money for charities, but they have backing, so they're going to pay the musicians. But spent part of the afternoon doing promo work for that, speaking, and I don't know what exactly I'm getting at. I'm just kind of rambling, telling you what's going on. Happy to be involved, I guess. Happy to be involved. Happy that my voice wants to be heard and that it helps. I think that's the main thing I want to say. Okay? When it comes to, I have a couple more records I'll talk about, but I wanted, if you're with me, you're with me at this point. The next thing that pops in my head, because I just woke up. I need another cup of coffee, actually. This is going to be what it is. They're not, my videos are very what they are. But, a lot is just going through my head. A lot is going through my head. So I'll just retreat back and share this. So after I did the promos, shooting some videos where I boost this music festival that's going to be online. We're going to be playing at the Slowdown. I went ahead and went down to the old market to check in with my favorite record store, because I saw they'd gotten in the new Neil Young, so I said, well, if they got that in, they might have something else new in. They didn't, but I went ahead and got this. I'd been eyeing this for a while. I have an original American copy. This has been issued a million times. King Crimson's first album. I had a copy when it first came out. I first heard this record in 1969. I'll never forget when I first saw the cover. My first King Crimson possession was the single, In the Court of the Crimson King, Part 1 and 2, which I bought at Sears in 1969. I don't know, that single's long gone. I do wish I still had it. Everyone knows about this groundbreaking album. So I had been eyeing the Steven Wilson remix for a while, wanting it. And so yesterday, I thought of it as a Father's Day present to myself. I went and got the remix, Steven Wilson remix. It also has a whole nother album of outtakes. For that alone, it's worth it. But are the Steven Wilson remixes noticeable? Yeah. Are they good? Hell yes. My goodness. All you gotta do is listen. From the get-go, the edge, the sonic edge, the sonic unnecessary brittle edge of the original recording, especially the way it captures the saxophone, is gone. The tone is there. It's not rounded off where it's fuzzed it. It's made it clearer. But the tone emerges. The equalization is awesome. Steven Wilson did a badass job on this. And this is that cover says everything about Western civilization. We're buck wild the fuck out of control. And the thing that we're all dealing with is that we have been lied to from the beginning, where all these important, powerful people say that they're doing it for this purpose and that purpose, and when all along all they've been interested in is self-interest and power. And this is why we're in the mess we are in. We are in a mess. Here is something that was given to me, and I'd forgotten about it, and I pulled it and played it. Silk Flowers, Days of Arrest. And this is just really just okay. There's like one track on the B side that starts off interesting, but it just repeats and never goes anywhere. I appreciate when people have sent me records like this. Maybe the artist himself sent this to me, but this is mediocre. I like the graphics. It deserves a better record. This actually is, I can't sell it, but I'm not putting it back in my crates. This is, and that happens every now and then. I'll go in and I'll find something. Oh, what was this? You know, and it's like, don't make the cut. When people send stuff like this to me, unless it's really awful, I keep it. You know, I try to keep it. So that's how this was there. But it's like, this is no good for me. Okay. And that's the new stuff to share. I am reading what you say. I appreciate you all sharing your stuff with me. Here's what I was wanting to say. Okay, so, people, I'm setting a boundary. I don't want people coming to Omaha visiting me. I've had 2 different people get a hold of me talking about coming and visiting me. You know, they like me so much. People, that's nice, but I'm not looking for that, okay? Take it like you want. But understand, no, I don't want people that I've never met. I don't really know who you are, talking about traveling from a different states to come and visit me. No. I appreciate the sentiment, but at the same time, I got to think, I just got to be realistic. It's like, I've already had stalkers. I've already had to have police protection. So even if you're well-meaning, try to understand my position. No, that's not what I'm looking for. The fact that you feel that close to me or want to connect with me is nice. But it's still a little freaky, okay? So, no, I'm not looking for people to come visit me. It has happened, and it's happened in a good way, okay? I'll mention Rick Jacoby from... he was in this band with the Brubeck brothers. He's an artist. He did an album cover for the prog band Kaipa. After I told him it was okay, he and his wife were traveling to go to some kind of art course in Denver or Colorado, and they stopped on their way in Omaha and met me, and that went well. But that was laid out real clear from the beginning what was going on. These other situations, I'm not inviting them, okay? I care about you as people, but I need my boundaries, all right? Okay, that's where I'm at. 19 minutes. What did I talk about?